Being consistent with health sometimes is super difficult, especially when you run a business and you work 10, 12, 14 hours a day. And in our program, in our service, we have actually proven method for this. And I'll give you some generic advice, and also I'll give you then personalized advice whether you want to proceed with it or not. But first, let's talk about what you know you need to do. The first thing is training. You know that you need to train, but sometimes you see, oh, I'll try to go to the gym after this meeting. Then something comes up and you forgot completely, or you skip. Or then you just see, oh, maybe after this meeting or after I stop working, I'll go. And then there's something to do, like a task, and you just skip again. And this goes like week after week, and you just skip entirely going to the gym whatsoever. So the first advice that I have to you is decide how many times you want to go to the gym. Ideally, I advise my clients to be 4 to 5 times per week. So you will get your schedule and you will see where I can where I can add a training session in my schedule, and you will prioritize this training session slot. And I'll give you a super hack for this. Let's say that you wake up at 8 a.m. Instead of waking up at 8 a.m., you will wake up now at 7 a.m. and have the training session from 7 a.m. to 8 a.m. and then you have your normal workday. That way, you will have a fixed slot to train, and you won't forget it because you are already waking up at that time to do that task, and you will use it and as actually a task in your schedule, and you train and then you have your normal work day and it's done. If you can't do this in the morning, you can do the opposite. You can just have your normal work day, and instead of working until 7 p.m., you work until 6 p.m., and then you have from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. your training session. And that is the best way to actually be consistent, because you will have a fixed slot where every day or the times that you go training, every time you will go to that time to work out. You will wake up at that time to work out. You will go to the gym at that time. And you won't be dynamically thinking, oh, let's say after this meeting, I might be able to go to the gym. And then something happens and you don't. Or, oh, between these work tasks, after this meeting, between these work tasks, I just need to do this. And then I go to the gym and the times pass by and you forget it. So instead of doing that, just have a fixed slot, and every day you know that you need to eat that fixed slot. You need to do that task. Another thing that I see a lot of you doing is you don't follow any nutrition plan and also workout plan. But this is a more personalized, because I can't really give you a workout plan. I'm super different from those health gurus that tell you, oh, just do this workout plan, push pull legs, and that's fine. No, because each individual person has his baseline capacity, blood work, inflammation, and goals, and we need to understand that first to be able to build their workout plan. So yes, if you want me to analyze your own situation and data, you can apply to my one-to-one, first link in the description. If not, you can also then implement these tips and then try to understand what you should do based on the workout you need to do, on your goals, on your data, etc. For nutrition plan is quite the same, but I can advise you some things. The first one is protein. Most of you are under eating protein. You need at least 2 grams per kilo of body weight, or 1 gram per pound of body weight. Then you also need to increase fiber. Yes, you are under eating fiber, believe me. You need around 20 to 30 grams or more of fiber. And for this you can increase complex carbs like fruits, vegetables, oats, and also supplement with fiber like psyllium husk and pre and probiotics. Then you need to cut processed foods. Of course, we will have cravings and cheat meals, but try, like, removing 80% of processed foods, and you'll have the 20% where when you go to a restaurant you eat, and etc etc. And try to educate yourself that you need to eat more protein every single meal, like more fish, more meat, steak, whatever, eggs. And this goes when you eat, when you're working, when you eat at home, when you eat in a restaurant. Try always to pick the highest protein choice. And for nutrition, you also need around more than 50 grams of fat. Again, it depends person to person, but a rule of thumb is more than 50 grams. And you then will calculate your carbs intake and your calories per day based on your DEXA scan, which is a medical test, and your goal. If you have excessive fat in your body or you are overweight, you need to cut the calories. You need to be in a deficit. So you need to calculate your maintenance calories. There are a lot of online calculators, but I don't suggest you to do on those online calculators. I prefer you to do a DEXA scan where you will see, and it will give you exactly what are your maintenance calories. Then you will then see if you need to lose fat, you just cut 500 to 700 calories from the maintenance calories. If you need to gain muscle, you add 300 to 500 calories on top of the maintenance calories. Then after this, again, you should always be consistent with sleep. And I know sometimes it's difficult, but try to again have some kind of protocol or routine. For There are tons of really good advice that I give to my clients. The first thing is stop eating at least 2 to 4 hours before sleep to be able to our body to process all the food and then prepare to sleep. Stop working at least 30 minutes before bed to be able to relax your body, increase melatonin levels, and not increase stress hormone. Read something or try to relax when you are in your bed and not use your phone. Your phone needs to be outside the bed, in the desk, whatever. You should also hydrate your hydrate, like most of you are not hydrating enough and not drinking water enough. It's You need around 3 to 4 liters depending again on your baseline, but around 3 to 4 liters per day. Other things, you should use a wearable, health wearable, to analyze your sleep, the stages, if you are recovering well, your HRV, RHR, and all the other health metrics that will determine if you are actually having the great night of sleep or not. You should cut stimulants at 1 p.m. because if you have or drink coffee, let's say at 4 p.m., you will still have caffeine in your bloodstream at midnight, and that will just destroy your sleep quality. So stop any stimulants at 1 p.m. And for sleep, there are other things that can increase, like having a blackout environment without any lights. You can use a sleep mask. You can use earbuds, nose straps. You need to have a cool environment around 19 to 21 degrees Celsius, and that will improve significantly your sleep quality. And again, being consistent with health needs responsibility. The last thing that I want to advise you is have some kind of accountability, whether it's with a health coach, with a friend, with a family member, whatever. You need to have a responsibility to not fail with your health habits. You can even bet with a friend like $10,000 to lose the fat, to lose X amount of fat in X amount of days or months. And of course, needs to be realistic. And if you cannot do and you cannot be consistent with it, you will lose the bet. And you can just play with your friend that way. Or even you can just invest in a health program and have the accountability and the expertise to follow a personalized health plan to be able to not only talk with the health coach every day to give feedback, to also log your weight and whatnot, also weekly feedbacks, check-ins on boards and calls that will guide you to the right path always. And that is how you be consistent with health, even if you run a business, a high demanding business. You can implement all the tactics that I showed you in this video, but also if you want to work with me one-on-one, you can apply to the first link in the description. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe, comment down below any specific questions you have about this topic. You can also suggest other topics that you want me to discuss in the next videos, and I see you in the next one.